As we age, society tells us to stay active, be productive, and never slow down. Keep pushing forward, they say. Don't waste time. But what if the true key to happiness in your later years is not doing more but doing less? Yes, you heard that right. Buddhism teaches us that happiness is not found in endless striving, but in letting go. It is not about accumulating, but about releasing. It is not about controlling, but about surrendering to the flow of life with acceptance and gratitude. In this video, we will explore 8 things you should become lazy about in your later years. But let's be clear, this isn't about neglect or apathy. It's about making wise choices about where you place your energy. The more you let go of these burdens, the lighter and happier your life will become. This is the art of living simply, with wisdom and peace. 1. Stop overthinking what others think of you. From the moment we are born, we are conditioned to seek approval. We wonder, do they like me? Did I say the right thing? What if they judge me? But as you grow older, one of the greatest freedoms you can give yourself is to stop caring about the opinions of others. Think about it. How many times have you hesitated to do something simply because you were worried about what people might think? How often have you suppressed your true thoughts, your real desires, just to fit in? The reality is, no matter what you do, there will always be someone who disapproves, someone who finds fault, someone who judges. And yet their judgment has absolutely no bearing on your inner peace, unless you allow it to. Buddhism teaches us that clinging to the thoughts of others is like chasing the wind. It's exhausting and utterly pointless. What others think of you is none of your business. Their opinions are reflections of their own experiences, their own biases, their own insecurities, not of your worth, your truth, or your path. If a person's perception of you is shaped by their own struggles, why should you let that define how you feel about yourself? The Buddha once said, "Let go of attachment to approval and disapproval, walk your path with confidence and peace." This is a powerful reminder that we do not need the validation of others to live fully and joyfully. The need for approval is an illusion, a cage we build around ourselves. The moment you stop seeking validation, you set yourself free. Imagine the relief of stepping away from the exhausting habit of people-pleasing. No more second-guessing your words. No more replaying conversations in your head, wondering if you said the right thing. No more sacrificing your own happiness just to meet the expectations of others. Instead, you embrace authenticity. You live on your own terms. You do what feels right in your heart. And you surround yourself with those who love and respect you for who you truly are. And here's the beautiful truth. The people who truly matter in your life, the ones who genuinely love and respect you, will accept you just as you are. They don't need you to change, to conform, to put on a facade. They love you not because you fit some ideal, but because you are uniquely you. And the others, the ones who criticize, who judge, who gossip, they were never meant to walk beside you anyway. So let go. Free yourself from the weight of worrying about how others perceive you. Focus instead on how you perceive yourself. Do you respect the person you are becoming? Are you living in alignment with your values? Are you treating yourself with kindness, patience, and love? At the end of your life, you won't remember the opinions of strangers. You won't care about the fleeting judgments of acquaintances. What will matter is whether you lived truthfully, whether you honored your own soul, whether you allowed yourself the peace of simply being who you are. The moment you stop overthinking what others think of you is the moment you reclaim your life. And that, my friend, is the beginning of true happiness. 2. Stop wasting energy on arguments and drama. There was a time when proving a point felt like a necessity, when you believed that if you could just find the right words, the right logic, the right tone, you could make someone see things your way. But as the years pass, a quiet wisdom settles in. Most arguments are nothing but noise. People are attached to their beliefs, often in ways they don't even realize. No amount of reasoning, no well-crafted argument, no passionate plea will change a mind that does not want to be changed. And so, the wise path is not to engage in these endless battles of ego and stubbornness, but to step away with grace. The Buddha taught that clinging to the desire to change others only leads to suffering. If you argue with someone who is determined to misunderstand you, who truly wins, the energy spent on conflict is energy stolen from peace. Imagine this. A person throws a stone into a still lake. What happens? Ripples form, disturbing the surface, spreading outward in chaotic circles. But what if, instead, the lake refused to respond? If it remained calm and undisturbed, the stone would sink, forgotten, without causing chaos. You too can be that still lake. You don't have to engage in every disagreement. You don't have to defend yourself against every critic. You don't have to prove your worth or your wisdom to those who are unwilling to listen. Instead, learn to say, "I understand your perspective," and leave it at that. There is incredible power in silence. Does this mean you should never speak your truth? No, but choose your battles wisely. Ask yourself, is this discussion truly serving my peace? Will this conversation lead to understanding or only more division? If the answer is the latter, walk away. Life is short, and your energy is precious. The older you get, the more you realize that peace is far more valuable than being right. So, let them have their opinions. Let them keep their illusions. Let them argue with themselves while you sit in the quiet serenity of knowing that you no longer need to prove anything to anyone. Choose silence. Choose wisdom. Choose peace. 3. Stop trying to fix everyone's problems. There was a time when you believed it was your duty to mend the broken, to shoulder the burdens of those around you, to be the glue holding everything together. You might have spent decades offering advice, giving support, and stretching yourself thin trying to help others find their way. But at some point, a powerful realization dawns on you. It is not your job to save everyone. Each person has their own journey, their own lessons to learn, and their own burdens to carry. Just as a butterfly must struggle to break free from its cocoon in order to strengthen its wings, so too must each person face their challenges in order to grow. When you constantly step in to fix things, you may unintentionally deprive them of the opportunity to develop resilience and wisdom on their own. Buddhism teaches us about non-attachment, about the ability to offer compassion and guidance without becoming entangled in the suffering of others. Imagine you are standing on the bank of a river. You see someone struggling in the current, and your first instinct is to jump in and pull them to shore. But what if they must learn to swim? What if their struggle is necessary for their growth? Instead of throwing yourself into their suffering, offer them a branch, a word of encouragement, and let them navigate the waters in their own way. This does not mean you stop caring. It does not mean you turn away from those who need you. It simply means that you recognize the limits of your influence. You can be a source of light without setting yourself on fire to keep others warm. Think about the weight you have carried for so many years, the worries, the anxieties, the responsibility of making sure everyone around you was happy, safe, and on the right path. How much of that weight was truly yours to bear, and how much of it did you pick up because you felt you had to? What if, instead, you allowed yourself to lay it down? Your job now is to cultivate your own inner peace, to nurture your own well-being. The world does not need you to be its savior. The world needs you to be whole, to be at peace, to live with joy. When you stop trying to fix everyone's problems, you free yourself, and in doing so, you inspire others to find their own strength, their own wisdom, their own path. So breathe, let go, offer love, but do not attach yourself to outcomes. Be present, but do not take on the weight of the world. Trust that everyone has their own journey to walk, just as you have yours. And in that trust, you will find a freedom unlike anything you have ever known. 4. Stop chasing perfection and let go of regret. Perfection is an illusion, a mirage that we chase, believing it will bring us happiness. But what is perfection if not an ever-moving target, one that shifts just as we think we are close? It is an exhausting pursuit, and ultimately a futile one. When we were young, we feared making mistakes. We aimed for flawless success, convinced that each misstep was a stain on our worth. We held ourselves to impossible standards, afraid of failure, afraid of falling short. But as the years pass, a truth becomes clear. Imperfection is not a flaw, it is part of the human experience. Buddhism teaches us that mistakes are our greatest teachers. They shape us, refine us, and offer us wisdom that success never could. Failures are not signs of weakness. They are stepping stones on the path of growth. Have you made bad choices? Of course. Have you taken wrong turns? Absolutely. But what good does regret do? Regret is like a heavy chain dragging you backward, anchoring you to moments long gone. It shackles you to a past that cannot be changed, robbing you of the present and clouding the future. The Buddha said, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment. The only place life happens is now." Let go of regrets, not because your past is perfect, but because carrying regret serves no purpose. Every experience, every mistake, every detour has led you to this moment. The lessons you've learned, the wisdom you've gained, they exist because of the path you have walked, not in spite of it. Think about this. If you could go back and undo every misstep, erase every mistake, would you still be the person you are today? Would you have the same strength, the same insights, the same appreciation for life? Likely not. Our struggles shape us. Our imperfections make us real, make us relatable, make us human. So instead of regretting, choose gratitude. Be grateful for the journey, the lessons, and even the struggles. Accept the past for what it is, something unchangeable yet invaluable. Free yourself from the burden of what could have been, and step fully into the beauty of what is. Embrace today with open arms. Celebrate the life you have, imperfections and all, because in the end, a life spent chasing perfection is a life spent chasing shadows, and a life weighed down by regret is a life only half lived. Live fully, live freely, and let the past be just that, the past. 5. Stop accumulating unnecessary things. For years we have filled our lives with things, clothes, trinkets, gadgets, furniture, believing that they would bring us happiness. We worked hard to earn them, thinking that the more we had, the richer our lives would become. But as we age, a profound realization sets in. Things do not bring lasting happiness. Imagine walking through life carrying a heavy sack filled with possessions. The more you accumulate, the heavier the load becomes. It weighs on your mind, your energy, and even your sense of freedom. At some point, you realize that true peace lies not in what you own, but in what you can let go of. A Buddhist monk owns only a robe and a bowl, yet he walks the earth free. Why? Because he has nothing to weigh him down. He carries no unnecessary baggage, no material burdens, only the lightness of an unshackled spirit. The less you own, the lighter your heart becomes. Decluttering is not just about cleaning out your home, it's about clearing space in your mind. The items we accumulate often carry emotional weight, old gifts, forgotten purchases, remnants of past desires. But ask yourself, do these things truly add value to my life? If not, it may be time to let them go. Give away what you don't need. Share with those who might truly benefit. Donate, pass down, or release what no longer serves you. With each item you let go, you reclaim a piece of your freedom. The true measure of wealth is not found in possessions, but in experiences. In laughter shared over a simple meal, in the warmth of the sun on your skin, in the stillness of a quiet morning, unburdened by the need to own more. So ask yourself, what truly brings me joy? Is it the accumulation of things, or the beauty of a life lived simply? In the end, when you look back, you won't remember the things you owned, but the love you gave, the peace you nurtured, and the moments that took your breath away. 6. Stop trying to please everyone. For years, perhaps even decades, you may have bent over backward to meet expectations, to fulfill obligations, to make sure everyone around you was comfortable and content. You sacrificed your own happiness for the sake of others, believing that this was what it meant to be a good person. But now it is your time. The moment you stop trying to make everyone happy, you step into a world of freedom. You reclaim your life, your time, your energy. You no longer say yes out of guilt or obligation. Instead, you choose what truly brings you joy. And guess what? Those who genuinely love you will understand. They won't demand that you fit into a mold that no longer serves you. They will celebrate your happiness, not resent it. But what about the ones who don't? The ones who expect you to keep sacrificing, to keep pleasing, to keep putting yourself last. Let them go. Their approval is not worth your peace. You do not need to justify your decisions. You do not need to explain why you prioritize your well-being. The simple fact is this: your happiness matters. Your joy is important. Your life is yours to live. So start saying no when you need to. Say yes to what excites you. Walk away from those who drain you. Walk toward what fills your heart with light. Because in the end, the greatest gift you can give the world is your authentic, unapologetic self. 7. Stop rushing through life. Life is not a race. It is not a contest of who can accumulate the most achievements, the biggest house, the grandest career. It is not about sprinting from one milestone to another, always hungry for the next accomplishment, the next validation, the next fleeting moment of success. Life, in its purest form, is simply meant to be lived. Yet, from childhood, we are conditioned to believe otherwise. We are taught that busyness is virtue, that productivity is a measure of worth. As young adults, we race against time, believing that happiness lies somewhere beyond the next goalpost. We set deadlines for ourselves. By 30, we must have this. By 40, we must achieve that. And so, we rush, barely pausing to breathe, to take in the present, to savor the quiet joys that exist right here and now. But what if we were wrong all along? What if the true essence of life is not found in acceleration, but in slowing down? Buddhism teaches us the art of mindful living, the ability to be fully present, to embrace each moment with total awareness. When drinking tea, just drink tea. It sounds simple, yet it is a profound lesson. How often do we eat a meal while scrolling on our phones, or engage in conversation while thinking about what to say next? How often do we look at the sunset but fail to truly see it? The moment you stop rushing through life, you reclaim your ability to experience it. Imagine walking through a garden. If you rush, you may get to the end faster, but you will miss the fragrance of the flowers, the warmth of the sun on your skin, the sound of leaves rustling in the breeze. But if you walk slowly, taking each step with intention, you will truly feel the world around you. You will see colors more vividly, hear sounds more deeply, and find joy in the smallest details. A bird perched on a branch, a dewdrop shimmering on a petal, the way the earth smells after the rain. So, how do you stop rushing? First, let go of the illusion that time is slipping away. Time is not your enemy, it is your companion. It does not need to be controlled, it only needs to be cherished. Second, start practicing mindfulness. When you drink your morning coffee, hold the cup in your hands, feel the warmth, inhale the aroma, take a sip, and truly taste it. When you speak to a loved one, look into their eyes, listen, not just with your ears, but with your heart. When you walk, notice how your feet meet the ground, how the air feels against your skin, how life moves around you. Third, embrace the beauty of stillness. You don't always need to be doing something. You don't always need to be productive. Sometimes, the most meaningful moments are found in complete stillness. A quiet afternoon reading a book, sitting by the window watching raindrops trickle down the glass, lying on the grass, feeling the earth beneath you. Finally, remind yourself, this moment is enough. You don't need to chase anything beyond it. You don't need to rush toward an imaginary finish line. The joy you seek is already here. It has always been here, waiting for you to notice it. And so, slow down. Take long walks with no destination in mind. Savor your coffee, not as a routine, but as a ritual. Watch the sunrise, not because you have to, but because it is a gift you are lucky to witness. Listen to the wind, the birds, the laughter of children. Appreciate the tiny fleeting details of existence that once escaped your notice. Because in the end, life is not measured by how fast you move, but by how deeply you feel each moment. Zen wisdom tells us when drinking tea, just drink tea. Be here, be now. That is where happiness resides. 8. Stop worrying about the future. Worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it gets you nowhere. It keeps you occupied, yet it never moves you forward. The more you indulge in it, the more drained you become. As we grow older, the future begins to loom over us like a shadow. We start to ask ourselves unsettling questions. Will I get sick? Will I have enough money to sustain myself? Will I become a burden to my loved ones? These thoughts creep in at night, swirling in an endless cycle of what-ifs, feeding our fears and anxieties. But here's the truth that Buddhism teaches us. The future is an illusion. The only thing that is real, the only thing that truly exists, is this moment. Right now, think about all the hardships you have already faced, the losses, the struggles, the unexpected turns. And yet, here you are. You endured, you adapted, you overcame. The very fact that you are still standing is proof that you have the resilience to handle whatever comes next. Worrying about tomorrow will not change what happens. It will not prevent hardship, nor will it secure joy. All it does is rob you of today. It fills your mind with imaginary troubles while real beauty unfolds before your eyes. Beauty that you might miss if you are too consumed with thoughts of an uncertain future. Instead of allowing worry to dictate your peace, shift your focus to gratitude. Feel the warmth of the sun on your skin and let it remind you that you are alive, here in this fleeting, precious moment. Listen to the laughter of a child and recognize the innocence and joy that still exists in the world. Enjoy a simple meal and appreciate its nourishment, its taste, its presence. These are the true treasures of life. Not wealth, not status, not the absence of difficulties, but the ability to be present and to savor what is here now. Buddhism teaches the practice of letting go. When you find yourself spiraling into anxious thoughts, ask yourself, is this worry helping me? Is it serving me in any way? If the answer is no, then release it. Imagine tying your worries to a leaf and letting it drift down a gentle stream. Watch it float away, unattached, no longer holding power over you. There is a great peace in surrendering to the unknown. Life will unfold as it must. Some days will bring joy, others will bring sorrow, but neither can be controlled. All you can do is meet each day as it comes, with an open heart, a steady mind, and the courage to embrace whatever it brings. It is often said, worry does not take away tomorrow's troubles, it takes away today's peace. And peace, true peace, is worth far more than the illusions of control that worry promises. So, let go. Let the future be what it will be. Trust that you will handle it, just as you always have. And in the meantime, live, not in fear but in presence, not in anxiety but in appreciation. Because worrying will not add more days to your life, but peace will make each day you have truly worthwhile. Aging is not a burden, it is a privilege. With each passing year, you are given an opportunity, an invitation to release what no longer serves you. You have spent decades striving, proving, and worrying. Now is your time to step into ease. Let go of the weight of expectations. Let go of the pressure to be perfect, to be productive, to be anything other than exactly who you are in this moment. There is nothing to prove, nothing to chase. You have already done enough. You have already become enough. Happiness is not found in accomplishments or possessions. It is not hidden in some distant future. It is here. It is now. It is in the gentle breeze that touches your skin, in the laughter that bubbles up unexpectedly, in the quiet moments of solitude that feel like a warm embrace. A well-lived life is not about how much you have done, but about how deeply you have loved, how present you have been, and how freely you have let go. The greatest gift you can give yourself is peace, the kind that comes from knowing that you do not need to carry the world on your shoulders anymore. Live simply, live joyfully, live lightly. As the Buddha taught, you only lose what you cling to. So loosen your grip, release the fear, the worry, the need for control. Trust in the unfolding of your life. Trust that you are exactly where you need to be. And when the final chapters of your life are written, may they be filled with moments of peace, love, and unshakable serenity. If this video resonated with you, give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to hear this message. And if you haven't yet, subscribe to Quiet Wisdom for more Buddhist-inspired life lessons. Until next time, may you find peace, joy, and serenity in every breath you take.